All right, we are live. So welcome back to Dapp University. So today we got lots to talk about in our live stream today. We're going to look at a big opportunity for Web 3.0 developers that just popped up that you need to understand if you're trying to break into this industry or trying to further your career in the blockchain space. We're going to look at a lot of other updates that have happened since the live stream on Friday. Again, we do these live streams Monday through Friday on this channel. Just subscribe, turn on notifications. You're going to find out about those whenever we go live. We're going to take a quick look at the crypto markets, talk about the Ethereum merge, which is just around the corner in a few short days. All right, this is a huge deal. Answer some of your questions and a whole lot more. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to master blockchain step by step, start to finish, then definitely head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so we got people jumping in the chat here. So we got Automatic Beats, Dale, Kodia, Aiden, Above Realty, Bear Markets Make Millionaires. I like that. Robert Abramo, hope I'm saying that right. Nick, technically, Lopez, Larry, welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. Well, first of all, if you're in the United States, happy Labor Day. Everybody's got a long weekend here in the U.S. A lot of people are taking off work, but I'm up and at 'em, giving you the latest in the crypto space. So welcome everybody who decided to join us for their long weekend this Monday morning. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this because I want to talk about a big opportunity for Web 3.0 developers in this space, because I see people all the time trying to get in this industry, trying to figure out, where do they want to go long term with their Web 3.0 development career, or how can they even get started in the first place. And I want to talk about an opportunity that has just come up recently, okay, that's a little bit different from the stuff that I normally talk about on my channel, but I think is going to be highly relevant for some of the people watching this and where they might want to go and how they can get in. So I want to bring up this post that came across here. Oh, my screen is not working. My camera. There we go. Awesome. I want to bring up this post that came across my Twitter here, talking about the Ethereum Protocol Fellowship. Okay, that is now accepting new people. Okay, it's not a sponsored post or anything like this. This is literally just, I don't know about this one, but I'm talking about me myself. It's not a sponsored video or anything like this. It's something I organically came aware of and wanted to share with you all, because I think this could be the perfect opportunity for someone to sort of cement their career in the long term. So let's talk about what it is and like what it does and how this could be, big. So anyways, this is a fellowship put on by the Ethereum foundation. Okay, so the actual, body that's a part of creating the Ethereum software itself. Okay, Ethereum is a decentralized network, but the Ethereum Foundation is, sort of a separate thing. All right. But it's been fast guy becoming an Ethereum core developer. So this is a fellowship program for anyone who's interested in diving deeply into core protocol research and development. So you can follow the tweet here and see the applications. Okay, so this is the third cohort. It's something that has happened before. But what is it? Okay, so what is core development in the first place? So if you're not familiar, if you're a developer already, you probably understand this. But if you're trying to become a developer, you may not understand. So basically, most of what I teach on, this channel and at Dapp University centers around application development. So basically, creating smart contracts with Solidity, maybe creating front applications for them. Maybe we do some back-end type stuff with like some scripting automations. You might do some infrastructure work, all right, setting up like nodes and protocols and things like that, where you're actually, working on blockchain-based infrastructure. But all that is relatively high level of development. You're not actually building, core protocols themselves. So people, I think that can be kind of a confusing word sometimes. People talk about blockchain protocols that are powered by smart contracts that operate on the blockchain. Those are protocols in and of themselves. But I'm talking about like the ground level infrastructure, like creating consensus clients and something like that. So if you were to build something that like actually was responsible for implementing something like proof of stake, which Ethereum is moving towards, like that's an example of core development versus like building a smart contract that might be deployed on top of that. Is more of an application development type of skill, like a Dapp development type stuff. So, and one reason I don't particularly cover a lot of core development type stuff on this channel is a much smaller pool. Okay, is much less demand for that specific skill. Although that doesn't mean, hear me out properly, it doesn't mean that learning that skill is bad. It's just that there's a smaller number of people who need that skill, and also a smaller number of people who want to go down that track. Okay, so it balances out. It's still a highly in demand skill. It's just relative to application development type of stuff. It's sort of a different type of thing, but. Anyway, so that's what this is designed to do, is to sort of further your skill set down that track, which is a pretty cool specialty for people who are in this space. Okay, so it says, do you enjoy solving interesting, challenging problems? Are you interested in getting involved in the most foundational level of the Ethereum protocol? So the protocol support team, all right, is excited to announce applications are now being accepted for the third cohort of the Ethereum Protocol Fellowship. So this was formerly the Core Developer Apprenticeship Program. So if you ever heard of that, becoming apprentice to an Ethereum core developer, that's what it kind of was billed at before. They've changed their name to the Protocol Fellowship. So anyways, since the merge is coming in hot, really soon, the total tournament with difficulty should be next week. Okay, we'll talk about that here in a minute, or next week or so. They're looking forward to the next steps in their protocol's development and are in need of qualified and committed people to help create an increasingly powerful and robust Ethereum network. So basically, what is it? It's designed to onboard developers to the process through which protocol development happens. Okay, so this is not something where you're expected to be, a seasoned, protocol developer who has built many a blockchain protocol in the past. The whole idea is an apprenticeship, fellowship type situation here, where they train you up in the ways of actually doing this type of thing. So it's an opportunity to dive deeper into the protocol, learn, while also working closely with others the same learning trajectory, as well as the core development community. So, of course, it is not easy work, but it's interesting, challenging, and rewarding. Fortunately, this work is a large barrier to entry, and that's why basically they're trying to get people to train them up in the way of doing this, because this would be a very challenging thing to just get experience with on your own, to where you could easily come in and be effective in a place like this. So regardless of what your background is, you're probably going to need some really domain-specific training for this type of thing. I mean, unless you've just been contributing to open source work, for whatever reason for a very long time. But that's why they created this in the first place, is to get more people up to that level of competency, because honestly, it's really hard to find, good people who can do that. So the applications are going to be accepted to the 16th. You can apply here on this link. I'll put a link to it in the live chat replay. It's going to be from October 2022 to January 2023. It's about 3 months, 3 to 4 months. So you will have access to mentors from the core development community, and you'll be able to work on actual projects that have real impact on the Ethereum protocol. So past cohorts have had 2 other hosts before this, and they have gone on to do a lot of great stuff. So worked on alternative alternative method of documenting and specifying the Ethereum protocol, research how we can modify or remove the self-destruct opcode, helped build ZK Sync. That's huge. Built a peer-to-peer network on the Portal network, wrote their own implementation of the EVM. That's pretty crazy. The 10 cohort alumni now work full-time on core protocol development, and 5 others work in adjacent areas in the industry. So this looks like it could be a huge launch pad for your career. So definitely check this out. Again, this is not a sponsored shout out or anything like this. This is an opportunity that I became aware of organically, okay, and thought it deserved the amplification, and also just bringing it to you all, because I know there's lots of people trying to find their first opportunity, or maybe even just a better opportunity than what they have now, and I think this would be a good thing for the right person. So definitely want to bring that up today. Somebody says, it sounds like this is designed for an advanced blockchain developer. Not necessarily. It sounds like it's something where they're trying to train somebody into that type of situation. Somebody says, please warn everyone about flash loan scams circulating YouTube. Yeah, there's always scams out there where people are like telling you to copy and paste their smart contract code that's making money on autopilot, and then it drains your wallet. So don't do that. Okay, so let's look at a couple other things that have definitely happened in the space. Let's look at definitely the Ethereum merge, which I was talking about a minute ago. Of course, we've got this fellowship program like I was just talking about. You can see more about the fellowship alumni here as well if you want to find out about this. Let me just pop this in the live chat replay here. But the Ethereum merge is right around the corner, okay? So Ethereum is turning on proof of stake basically next week. Let's just see here. So we're 10 days away. So that's basically next Thursday, I believe. That's going to be an estimate because, the Ethereum merge is going to happen. How does the blockchain determine when we move to the merge? Well, basically, we have two blockchains running right now. We have the Beacon chain, we have the main Ethereum chain. Those two things that are going to come together and merge. Okay, so basically, we have this software that runs Ethereum, and it's going to decide when that happens. And so basically, it's based upon a value called the total terminal difficulty. And so that is essentially like a threshold that has to get crossed for the mining difficulty on Ethereum in order for it to basically switch on and start using proof of stake instead of proof of work. So proof of work is what it's using right now. It's going to move to proof of stake. And that's an estimate. Okay, here's the total terminal difficulty. I'm not even going to try to say this number in English because it's so massive. Okay, but that's the number. It's expected between September 10th and September 20th. So as soon as September 10th, I don't think it's going to be on September 10th based on the current total terminal difficulty. That would only be a short 5 days away. It could be as late as September 20th, but by the latest estimates, it looks like we're still on track for September 15th. That's the sort of estimated date when we think it's going to happen. Let's just look it up here. So yeah, if you look at this site, this basically looks at all the different variables that determine the total terminal difficulty. Okay, like the hash rate. There's other things like the Ethereum price, all that type of stuff. But yeah, September 15th is still the estimated timeline, which is next Thursday. It's only 10 short days away. So this is the biggest event in Ethereum's history since its launch. It's one of the biggest events in the entire crypto space, ever. Okay, so this is major, and it's crazy that this is happening right now in the middle of a kind of down market that's a lot quieter while people are kind of checked out, not paying attention as much. And honestly, that could be a little bit of a blessing because, you don't know what you don't know with the merge. It's always a crazy technical feat to do something like this. I say crazy. I don't mean crazy like you're crazy for doing this as in like you shouldn't do this. What I mean is it's highly complex, okay? And there's always sort of this like, fingers crossed, hope this goes properly. But I'm optimistic for the what could happen, what's going to happen with the merge in terms of its technical success. We had a mainnet shadow fork that just happened recently that went basically flawlessly. Okay, so that's definitely good news. I mean, all of the test networks have done well. We've seen a couple weird client issues with some of the test networks, but none of them were deal breakers by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, if they had been, there'd been too much risk at all. We of course would have seen things delayed, and they're not delayed. We're still scheduled for September the 15th, as far as we can tell. But one thing that's important to understand is tomorrow, I believe, is when the Bellatrix upgrade is going to go live. So what is that? So basically, what I was talking about before is how does the Ethereum merge happen? Well, basically, Ethereum is essentially a software that runs on a computer. And that software knows how to talk to other softwares out there, okay, other nodes essentially that run Ethereum, and collectively they make up this world computer, the Ethereum virtual machine, and they all have a specific version of their software that they have to use, right? That implements Ethereum, and so whenever they download sort of these news releases, that's when it essentially gets this upgrade to the software that says, when you download this, it's not like when you download it, it turns the merge on. What it says is when you download it, it knows how to turn the merge on at this total terminal difficulty. And that's what the Bellatrix upgrade is. And believe that's tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow's going to be a big day, big step forward for the Ethereum merge. So that's something to keep on your radar for sure. Yeah, proof of stake activated. It's going to be very, very, very soon. Okay, so let's look at couple other things here. We could definitely check on, what's going on with the crypto markets right now. That's definitely a big question mark around the Ethereum merge as well. Okay, so Bitcoin, we're back below $20,000, hovering in the $19,000 level. Ether's about $1,500. Okay, it's one of those things where crypto is definitely highly correlated to what's going on with the macro scene right now. Okay, and I say this all the time on my live streams. But in case, we get new people all the time, so I have to re-explain myself, just set the context. Crypto is highly correlated with macro. We see basically, this is reflected by the stock market. Crypto and stocks have been heading the same direction all year. It's been a little bit of a quiet weekend in crypto right now, and today, is still pretty much flat. All right, from the past several days. We see a little bit of a spike here, but this has been the weekend, relatively flat. We're basically, we're not going to see any activity on the U.S. markets until tomorrow. I mean, we have a holiday today. Okay, so I mean, yeah, you can look at futures markets, you can look at after hours stuff, all that type of stuff. But we're still pretty flat in crypto land over the past several days. Now, what's going to happen with Ethereum price? Headed into the merge after. Again, I really don't try to call too many short-term moves on this channel. Is there a possibility that we see another pump into the merge? Okay, it is possible. All right, especially now that we're on this sort of final countdown. The other line of thinking is, all the smart money, basically front ran this opportunity and got out, essentially a month before the merge. Saying that they think a large majority of the move is sort of already over, and then just wait for the merge to carry out, and then maybe buy back in later or do whatever they're going to do. Okay, because we basically ran up from, $900 all the way up to we kissed $2,000, broke slightly above it. Okay, so you would have over 2x on an asset like ETH in a relatively short amount of time, about 30 days or so, a little less than 30 days even. So that that very well could have been the move for the merge, but we could see some volatility around it regardless. So even if we don't get a major pump into it, I expect some volatility over the next couple weeks. Again, I don't try to call too many short-term moves, but it just kind of stands to reason, right? This is a kind of uncertain event. There's going to be lots of people who are trying to buy the rumor, sell the news, and are worried about new ETH hitting the market and dumping on the marketplace because of the stakers. You know what I mean? Proof of work Ethereum coins, all kinds of crazy stuff. Again, if you watch these live streams or you've watched my channel, you've heard me talk about, but if you haven't, you heard me talk about the fact that we're not going to see Ether just dumped on the marketplace from stakers, okay, because they're locked in still. There's going to be a post-merge cleanup period, and people who are staking their ETH now cannot withdraw it until many months after the merge, and we don't even have that final date just yet. So a lot of people worried about unlocked ETH. It's a non-issue in the short term, okay, and yeah, we won't have to worry about that particular sell pressure. Somebody says ETH would flip the Bitcoin in upcoming because of its fixed supply algorithm because Bitcoin gonna still print coins until 2140. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin will continue to print coins. I mean, ETH is still going to print coins, but it's also going to be burning coins. That's the whole point. So ETH will like continue to print coins for a very long time. It's just, are more coins going to get burnt? So let's see here. So speaking of like crypto and trying to find opportunities, especially right now in the bear market, like there's still projects that are flying under the radar, especially the Arbitrum ecosystem. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of projects in Arbitrum space kind of pop off. I've been talking about Arbitrum a lot on this channel. Again, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy any specific projects there, right? But people wonder about like, first of all, we talked about the Arbitrum ecosystem. What is it if you're not sure? So basically, Ethereum is a blockchain. People complain about Ethereum being too slow, too expensive to use, and that's what the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade is not going to fix that problem. It's not going to make Ethereum faster and cheaper, but that's what layer 2 scaling solutions are for. You don't have to wait for those to get here. You can do it now, okay? You have to wait for Ethereum to get faster. You can get that benefit now. Layer 2 scaling solutions, that's where you get the second environment. It works kind of like a blockchain, but you pay the gas fees in Ether, and it basically piggybacks off of the Ethereum main chain itself. So anyways, Arbitrum is a leader in that space. And we talked about Arbitrum upgrade going live. There's Arbitrum Nova, Arbitrum Odyssey, which was paused and will resume again. But I saw this thread here that I thought I'd bring up because I was talking about Arbitrum doesn't have a token yet, and it's probably going to airdrop one in the future. Again, I don't have any insider information on this, but I mean, Optimism, their main competitor, has done it. Okay, I don't think they're in a rush to just push out a token that is implemented hastily, but in the future very likely to issue one and very likely to reward people who have used applications, and then lots of apps inside the Arbitrum ecosystem highly likely to issue tokens the same way. So anyways, I saw this thread that I want to bring up. This is just something to think about. Okay, I'm not endorsing every idea in this thread. This is not financial advice, of course. But people ask me like, how do you like step by step like try to get airdrops? And so I thought this is a pretty good thread on that. Again, these airdrops typically are rewarding people who've used projects previously, so they're retroactive airdrops. Okay, and so this is like an example strategy of how you could do that type of thing. So Arbitrum Odyssey is this event that's sort of designed to get you to bridge over Arbitrum and do all these challenges, and you can get like NFTs and all this type of stuff. But it started and got paused, but Nitro went live, and the Odyssey is supposed to resume relatively soon, is what my understanding is. But they're talking about how could you position yourself for some airdrops before things go live. So anyways, basically, let me just see here. This is actually, hold on. This is not the thread I was talking about. Let me find it. That one was more of like let's see if I can find it. Hold on a second. That was a different thread than the one I was looking at. I wasn't trying to endorse specific projects. Like I'm not trying to make a video to be like, here are the sleeper projects that you need to buy. I'm not trying to pump coins on YouTube. I'm trying to find a airdrop strategy, because I definitely saw one that was good. Let me find it. Hold on. Hold on a second here. Well, I'll have to bring it up and probably bring it up on the live stream again tomorrow. Because basically the whole idea of the thread was just kind of showing you paths, basically where you could, bridge over with this bridge, bridge off with this bridge, make swap on this app, use this app, provide liquidity here, pull it out, and so it's sort of like an over the river through the woods, sort of circuitous tour of sort of layer 2 space using some of the high profile projects in there that haven't airdropped tokens yet, and how you could essentially position yourself from that. So I'll try to find that thread again and bring it up on the stream tomorrow. I don't want to just put a my top token picks, right? That's not what I was trying to do here. So that's why I didn't want to show that other thread. But let me see if I can find it. Suppose it's how can I deploy a smart contract on the mainnet for free, and why does it cost for deploying it? So it's a good question. So basically, anytime that you change Ethereum in any way, or any blockchain that supports smart contracts, anytime that you store something on the blockchain, it costs money. Okay, it's always going to cost a gas fee for doing that. So some people say, hey, why do you have to pay to do that? Well, it's because it prevents spam on the network. Okay. So that's one reason. The other reason is you have to incentivize people to actually maintain the blockchain. Right now with Ethereum, that's the miners. Okay, we're about to switch over to proof of stake. That's going to become the validators, the stakers. Okay, so somebody's got to run it. They got to get paid somehow. The blockchain creates, cryptocurrency to pay them. But then also your fees that you pay to put transactions on chain also pays them, and you having to pay a fee keeps you from just doing random stuff on chain, because essentially you have to pay a fee to store it there forever. And so if you're sending cryptocurrency from one account to another, that's a simple transaction. That transaction gets included into a block that makes up the blockchain. Okay, and you have to pay to do that. If you're swapping tokens on Uniswap, you have to pay to do that. If you're deploying a smart contract to the blockchain, you're putting code on the blockchain, you're making a transaction, you have to pay to do that as well. So you can't do it for free. Somebody says, every company here in my country asks for experience. How can I find jobs if I'm a fresher? So that is always the challenge when you're getting started. But the answer to that question is, how do you get a job with that experience? Well, you get experience outside the workplace. So, basically creating something for yourself. It's a highly recommend focusing on portfolio. Okay. And then, basically putting that out there to prove that you have the skills to pay the bills, open sourcing that code, putting it on GitHub, deploying your project, people can see it. Okay, make it very clear that it's something you built, on your own independently. All right. And, that's the best way to get started. Now, I mean, the more experience you get, the better on your own, in terms of if people are really looking for that. I mean, the other thing is, first of all, you definitely want that. The other thing is, not everyone is going to take a chance on you. Okay, so it's not like every single company is going to hire you without real world job experience. But I can guarantee that there are lots of people out there who will hire new people who are willing to hustle. They've proven that they've put the time and work in to create something for themselves, that are eager to learn. So I mean, think about it this way. Think about the demand. What if I told you, hey, you should go work for the Ethereum Foundation, even if you've never had a developer job before. You would, like most people, be like, hey, that's absolutely preposterous. Like, they would never hire me. But guess what? Even the Ethereum Foundation has a protocol fellowship, okay? Because they're saying, you know, core protocol development isn't easy work, is also a very large barrier to entry. High degree of fluency in the actual protocols themselves, requires deep understanding of many different engineering concepts, requires excellent written communication skills. So, you know, most people who are just starting their blockchain journey, I would say, do you have all these things? Most people would say absolutely not. But the whole idea here, read the last sentence, the intention of this program is to provide an easier on-ramp for getting past these barriers, okay? And to provide initial support and guidance to launch you into working side by side with core developers, okay? So, you know, there's going to be other places like that out there, right? Where they are taking, they need people. People are hard to find, okay? And so what do? They take people who are willing to learn and have proven that they have taken the necessary first steps to demonstrate their competency and are a, you know, solid block of marble that they can sculpt into the type of person that they need to get the job done. And that's what most people should shoot for when they're just starting out. And how do you do that? Well, you create your own projects, you get your experience outside the workplace, and then you get your own real world experience on the job. All right, everybody, that's all I got for today. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That really helps these videos out so the more people can learn about blockchain. And if you're as fascinated with this technology as I am, you want to get your hands dirty, how can you get started today? You can go to my YouTube homepage. You can find my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. And if you like those and you want to take the next step, hey, maybe you want to take a massive shortcut entirely, I can share a master blockchain step-by-step start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. Help people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching.